What's up, guys? In this video we're going to talk about liquids, beverages and drinks. We're going to talk about why it's important to learn about this stuff and how they can affect your six-pack abs. So the first thing which we want to talk about is the importance of hydration. Many guys don't really realize that their level of hydration can actually have a big impact on their six-pack abs. Mike, can you talk about that? Why is hydration so important?
Well, remember, your body's made up of about 60–70% water. So when you're working out, when you're doing things like that, you're sweating, you're losing water. So you got to make sure you replenish your water. If not, you'll get dizzy, you'll get cramps, you'll lose a lot of athletic performance. And also, there's a lot of health problems that are related with something as simple as just not drinking enough water. So above it all, make sure you're drinking enough water every single day so you don't run into any health habits or health problems.
And I know, like, I got acquainted with this firsthand because I can remember for this one grappling tournament, I had to come in at 150 pounds, and the day before I was about 154. So what I did is, I didn't drink water for a long time before, and I was able to have a few matches, but by the third match, I was just out of gas. And, those 4 pounds of water make a big, big difference. And if you're down those 4 pounds of water like all the time, what's going to happen is you're going to be lifting less, your cardio is going to suffer, and you're just going to, all your workouts going to be flat.
Yeah, and you said you were in great shape when you went into that contest too, and it was just water that destroyed everything.
Yeah, it makes a big, big difference. Okay, so let's talk about some things which can really make you dehydrated that you want to avoid. What are some of those things which guys should really cut out?
Number one thing is basically caffeine. Now, I know it's kind of tough if guys are drinking coffee, things like that, but caffeine is bad because it dehydrates you. You can get it from fat burners, coffees, energy drinks, but also drinking alcohol. You ever wonder why you wake up in the morning and your mouth is really dry and also you have a pounding headache? Well, it's because alcohol went ahead and drawed all the water out of you, and so your body's left dehydrated, that's why you actually get the headaches. But high fats, high salty processed foods will also go ahead and dehydrate you. So make sure that you avoid eating those so this way your body stays hydrated.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so now that guys know which things to avoid, what are some ways that they can achieve better hydration?
Well, you got to start off by drinking more water. A lot of guys don't really keep track of how much water they drink, and you don't actually have to really count. But if you're one of the guys that are really, really dehydrated, you find yourself probably drinking maybe 2 or 3 glasses of water at the most, then you probably want to go ahead and kind of keep track in the beginning. Ideally, the perfect world, you need to drink about 2/3 of a gallon of water. May sound like a lot, but that's actually what your body needs to be able to function perfectly. And if you can't do that, then at least drink 1 large glass of water with every single meal. And now I'm talking about water. So if y'all guys are drinking juice or drinking Kool-Aid or drinking Cokes or anything like that, none of this count. We're not talking about any of those. We're talking about straight water, because that's what your body needs, not all that sugar stuff.
Yeah, and a lot of guys don't realize that, they're thirsty and they drink these things and they think they're getting hydrated by that, but they don't realize that things like, like soda can actually dehydrate you more than if you hadn't drank anything at all.
Yeah, people always talk about, hey, you drink Coke or something like that, it makes you more thirsty.
Yeah.
So don't do that for hydration, just stick with water.
Definitely. Okay, so now that we've covered hydration, let's talk about the calories that guys consume in liquids. Why is it so important to learn about liquid calories?
Well, the reason why it's so important is because nobody really calculates how much calories they drink. They always talk about eating and things like that and try to be low on the calories they eat. But if you think about it, if you think of some normal things that people consume, on a daily basis, people drink things like juice. People drink beer, Coke, sodas, lattes, Starbucks. Those things are really, really high in calories.
Yeah.
If you think about those, juice runs anywhere from about 200 and something calories just for a regular tall glass of juice, and nobody thinks it's bad for you. It's just juice, right? It's healthy, it's a fruit, but it's all these extra calories in it and this extra sugar. Can of Coke, has about 140 calories. Can of beer is like about 110, give or take. Lattes are probably the worst. They're at least about 240, 250 calories. And when you really add all this stuff up, you can easily drink about 700 to 800 calories just in liquids. So you times that by 7 days, and you got at least over 3,500 calories extra that you just drank. So even if you ate completely, healthy meals and stuck with an eating system, if you drank extra drinks and you drank an extra 3,500 calories a week, you'll actually gain 1 pound of fat, because 1 pound of fat is equivalent to 3,500 calories. So now you kind of see, in perspective on how important it is to actually know, which drinks are high in calories and which ones aren't, because it's going to make a very, very big difference.
Yeah, definitely. And, that's huge. And I think that really puts it in perspective how important this is. And, another thing which is really important to consider is that these calories are typically pure sugar. Very different than eating, say, an extra 800 calories worth of zero willpower meals, which is going to, help you in, feed your muscles. This sugar is very addictive and is not going to help you in any way other than just adding fat to your body.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's talk about some other beverages that guys should avoid. What are some of the worst things which guys, commonly drink which really damage their diet?
Well, the biggest one on the list is soda. Coke, Pepsi, all that stuff. Soda is by far, you ever hear people, I always hear people tell me this. They tell me they cut out soda and they started losing weight.
Yeah.
Just that one. And they told me they didn't change a thing on, their physical activities. They didn't start working out. They didn't start doing anything. All they did was just cut out soda. It's amazing, and then next thing I wondered is, well, how much soda were they drinking? And you'd be surprised. People are putting down those 64-ounce big gulps like water.
Yeah.
People, maybe you're doing it, but people are drinking soda like water. They think, oh, wow, I'm thirsty. Let me go ahead and take all these big gulps of soda. And if you cut that out, you'll realize how much calories you're actually cutting out. But another thing is, Kool-Aid or any type of sugar-based drinks. It's just pure sugar. It's sugar water, Why don't you just take out the sugar and just drink the water, So those are really bad for you. What's popular nowadays is Red Bull and, those full sugar energy drinks. Definitely a lot of stimulants, but just full of sugar, The biggest one, I think, it would probably be Starbucks and all the lattes and, all these high sugar coffees, that's very popular. People are constantly, drinking them every morning. They have like a structured routine on how to drink Starbucks. It's like they get one every morning, and then, sometime during lunch, somebody makes a Starbucks run, to Starbucks, and everybody, puts in the money. And yeah, those are really, really bad. Nobody really thinks about, about all the harmful, sugar calories that it's doing. They just think, I'm going to get this kick to, finish me off for the rest of the day.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, those are really, really bad. They got to be avoided.
No, and like we talked about in the addictive foods video, the energy drinks and the Starbucks are especially dangerous because caffeine is addictive. Yeah. And if you're addicted to the caffeine and you're getting like a lot of calories every time you need that caffeine, then it's a very dangerous situation to put yourself in. Okay, so I think those are, some of the worst things, but guys generally know those things aren't very healthy. What are some things that are marketed as healthy things, which actually are not healthy at all, and which can really cause a lot of weight gain?
One that a lot of people don't know, and they're very surprised when they hear this, is actually fruit juice. Juice, because fruits are good for you, right? So you're like, well, why is juice bad? It doesn't make sense. Well, here's the reason why. Juice is so high in sugar because you have to take so much fruits to go ahead and condense it into liquid. So if you think about it, if you eat an orange, well, it's not going to kill you. It's good for you, right? It's just one orange. But you think about how many oranges it take to make, a good amount of orange juice, right? A gallon of orange juice. How many oranges is that? And you'll realize that if you went ahead and ate, 50 oranges a day, you'd be overweight. But yet, when you drink juice, it's really the same thing. Every big gulp of juice you're drinking, is almost like a whole fruit, So you imagine drinking 10 gulps, like nothing. That's 10 fruits. So you're basically overeating on fruits by drinking juice. So that's really a big surprise to a lot of people. Apple juice, orange juice, any type of fruit punches, which are even worse. Those are most of the fruit punches I've seen are just sugar based. It's almost like Kool-Aid.
5% juice, yeah.
5% juice, right? And to make it worse, guys, Dan made a good point. 5% juice, 10% juice. I think the highest I've seen is probably about 15. Yeah. So you're not even getting the juice. You're getting sugar water with a little bit of juice to make it worse. Gatorade. That's one that a lot of people get confused on too, because who do you see drinking Gatorade? Marketing. They market athletes drinking Gatorade. Guys are physically, in good shape drinking Gatorade. So people want to relate to that, and they want to drink Gatorade because, they want to be in good shape. But what they fail to remember, and they fail to mention in these advertisements, is only if you're burning that much calories, only if you're that active, only if your body is that dehydrated, you need all that electrolytes, is it beneficial for you to drink Gatorade. If you're sitting in the office and you're on your computer and you're on your phone and you're putting down Gatorade, well, you're not active enough. You're not burning any calories. So you're just consuming all these extra calories with nowhere to go but just get stored. So, make sure that, you don't get fooled on those, and don't drink those Gatorades or Powerades or something like that, unless you're in a situation to where you're totally exerting so much energy. That's the only time when it's actually appropriate, to drink any of those energy drinks or the sports drinks.
Yeah. Exactly. And one thing which I'd like to know too is that, first of all, you're not going to actually sweat enough just through weightlifting where you're going to need the Gatorade to prevent cramps. And second of all, if you were doing some athletic activity where you're heavily sweating, Gatorade is actually not even good to rehydrate you, because it has so much sugar that it actually dehydrates you. So just not good. It's all marketing that it says it rehydrates you. It really doesn't.
Vitamin water. That's another one. I mean, just look at the name, vitamin water. It's really good marketing, because, if you watch the other video, we talk about multivitamins. So vitamins are good to take. So automatically when someone thinks of vitamin water, even myself, I think, well, it's vitamins, it's water, and I need both. But again, just extra calories. It's just extra calories that, that you really don't need. Diet sodas are a really big one. Now, of course, when you compare, the lesser of the two evils between diet soda and regular soda, well, yeah, go with the diet. Okay, because it is much better, lower in calories, lower in sugars. It's better for you. But if you had to choose between diet soda and water, go with the water. So diet sodas are one of those things that aren't healthy for you. They're just a better alternative. I think one that a lot of guys make a mistake on also is smoothies.
Yeah.
Protein shakes. They go to smoothie factories, or they go to places where they sell smoothies. And you ask the salespeople, what's something good? I want to lose weight, and I want to, and they'll go ahead and recommend some high-calorie smoothie, or one that's all fruit and everything, and they fail to mention how many calories it is and how much sugar is in there. They're just trying to sell you their product, but there's so much calories in these things that it's not worth it. I mean, you drink it and then it runs through your body.